G'day and welcome to another big edition of the Ballarat Football Netball League Senior Footy Show. Thanks to our friends at McDonald's. My name's Yeendy. I'm joined by Shane Anwyl, the Operations Manager. Thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries. Pleasure as always, Yeendy.
Now, we've got a very exciting round happening this week. A big feel around the competition. I know we'll plug it on both shows, but the upcoming round, we've got a special great work there done by the Ronald McDonald Charity House, which I know a few clubs around the competition are getting behind.
Yeah, that's right. Supporting the Ronald McDonald Charity Houses that we know do such great work for families, and the league's thrown their support behind that charity this weekend. It's one of our partners in McDonald's, and we're only too happy to get on board and try and raise some valuable funds to support the great work they do.
Absolutely, mate, and check out our social media throughout the week. We'll be giving that a red hot plug and some of the things that are sort of be going on. And speaking of theme rounds, we've just come off a highly successful women in footy round, mate. So great to see the pink footy's been kicked around.
Yeah, it was. It's always good. It's a great promotion again to see those out and about, and all the clubs certainly get behind the women in football, and rightly give them the support and the recognition on the day that they deserve.
Absolutely, mate. It was perfect conditions on the weekend to see the pink footies being kicked around beautifully. So they stood out really well, and a lot of great recognition show there. First game we'll touch on from the weekend. Sebastopol kept their finals hopes well and truly alive with a big win over Ballarat by 58 points or 68 points in a really good team performance.
Yeah, it was. It was a great all-round performance from Sebastopol. They're doing everything that they need to do to keep in touch to get there for finals at the end of the season, and well done to them. A good consistent game, 28 scoring shots to 10, just the 3 goals for Ballarat. I think it just was a real highlight, the stark difference between where the two clubs are at the moment.
Yeah, spot on there, mate. 8 goals to 1 in that first half. We know it was a bit of a danger game for Sebas because Ballarat have been pretty good at home this year. But Sebas putting their foot down, and that win there keeps them on equal points. They're currently sitting in 8th position, but they're basically just percentage off 4th spot, so that just highlights just how close this comp is. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, look, every win is important, but more so at this time of year, percentage is going to be the difference between who's in, who's out, and you just got to do the first thing, and that is have a win, and then try and have a good win so you can keep that percentage alive.
Speaking of having a good win, I don't think we saw a better win like it on the weekend. Darley coming from behind in the final term to take down Lake Windaree. Darley, we know it's been a tough sort of few weeks for them, but they've come out and they've beaten back a smash, and they've come from behind to beat Lake Windaree, been playing some great footy. That's excellent for that club.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, look, they had a few issues, as we all know about a couple of weeks ago. They've certainly bounced back as a club in terrific form, and they've had a couple of good wins. Lake Windaree taking everything before them at the moment. They've had fantastic wins, taking down everyone above them. So this was one of those games that it looked like it's going to be, well, here's Lakers again. They're beating the top sides again and just marching forward. But they almost got there, but just in the last stages of the game, Darley's class got them over the line there.
Goes to show the importance of goal kicking though, mate. We know Lakers were ahead for pretty much most of the day, but they only kicked 1 goal 6 in the final term, as opposed to Darley that kicked 4 straight. So that's that considering the margin was just 3 points, that's crucial. And how good is it to see Steve Kennedy? We know he got right back at the competition this year. I know it was a bit before our time when he was dominating, but geez, he's playing some good footy.
Yeah, and look, to see such a classy player who's been good for such a long time going around and still doing those great things, it's great for the competition. It's great for Darley as well, and it's exciting to watch.
Spot on there, mate. The game that I had the privilege of getting out to, the McDonald's McCafe match of the round for the competition, I think it certainly delivered in every aspect, because we saw an absolute cliffhanger between Redan and Sunbury. A tight game there for a lot of the day before Redan. Well, we talk about good kicking is good footy. They kicked 7 goals 2 from late in the third term to the final stage of the game to win that one, after being at 5 goals 16 at one stage. So they did very well for themselves against the Sunbury side.
Yeah, they did, and not many people would have tipped Redan. I doubt anyone would have, to be honest, when you look at where they are at the moment and the good football that Sunbury have been playing on and off. So quite a turn-up this week. It's probably one of the upsets for the last couple of weeks. But Redan, we're was spoken at times that they're not far away. They were, I think, against, was it Melton or Melton South?
Yeah, Melton the previous week, yeah.
They were almost there. They nearly had that game. But look, this one here, well done to Redan. They went on with it this time, whereas they seemed to have dropped off in a couple of games towards the end, and they hung in there and got over the Lions.
Yeah, you're spot on there, mate. I think it was only a matter of time before Redan ended up putting a four-quarter performance on deck, and this was the game where they certainly did it. I know he didn't get named the best, but Pat Britt for the Redan side, he was outstanding across half-back, played some great footy, and often played well as a loose man, so he played an exceptional game, and Grant Bell was explosive up forward. I think kicked the goal out of mid-air late in the term, so Sunbury were pretty. They were good for most of the game, but they probably needed to be maybe 3 or 4 goals up at three-quarter time to really hold on, because there was that little bit of breeze blowing to the one end of the ground.
Yep, I'll take your advice on that. I know you were calling the game, so you would have saw it more than I was.
Yeah, it was great to work alongside the boys from 97.9 FM, getting a great insight from them. Melton kept its finals hopes well and truly alive with a great win over Melton South.
Yeah, they did. We spoke earlier about how all wins are important. When you look at percentage, Melton are one of those 4 teams that are in the bottleneck there at the bottom of the 6 that they need to keep winning, and this is what they had to do on the weekend, and they did it. And Melton South, I think they had a good game against Sunbury the week before. I saw that there, and they were in it for quite a while, so they probably went into this game with a little bit of confidence that they're going to be pretty competitive against Melton. But the end result there, look, Melton, 33 scoring shots to 16, so they've doubled their scoring shots. They had a lot more opportunities, potentially not. I wasn't at the game, so I don't know how the conditions were, but the margin might have been a lot more than it was. But Melton did what they had to do. They've got the win, and they'll go on to next week.
Probably felt with this game, for most of the games involving Melton South this year, is that we've had at least one side kick over 100 points. So fortunately for Melton, they were able to kick I think their 3rd highest score of the year. So they were able to play some really good footy. They had to score heavily and quickly because Melton South, while they haven't had the wins on the board this year, they've just the game style, the openness of the game has warranted high scores. Yeah,
and look, they need to be kicking those big scores, which is what they've been able to do, and they should keep going on with that.
That percentage, as you said, is absolutely crucial. Right. And the final game that we'll talk about, it's been an exceptional round of footy. Let's be honest. Round 13 of the Ballarat FNL, we saw North Ballarat City break a big streak when they took down Bacchus Marsh by 1 goal. That is magnificent.
Yeah, it was. It was a great game. It was all tied up there, just only a few minutes left in the game, and a late goal to North City got them over the line. And we spoke about North City. They were in a bit of a slump. They'd dropped, I think, 4 out of 5 or something like that. So they needed to bounce back, and they've done that over the last couple of weeks. This beating Bacchus Marsh, it's a great result for them. Gives them a lot of confidence. Again, one of those clubs that are in that bottleneck for the finals there. So again, a good win. They've got slightly better percentage than the other teams, but well done to North City. It was a great win.
So we'll be a little bit worried about Bacchus Marsh, mate. They were sitting on top of the ladder, almost looked unbeatable, but they've dropped 3 of their last 4 now. I know they would be disappointed with those efforts.
Yeah, look, they will be, but I'm sure we know Bacchus Marsh are a great club, and they've got a lot of good people there, and I'm sure they'll be looking at this, and they'll be able to turn it around. It might be just a little bit of slump, and then they'll sort of pick themselves up and fire in the finals.
They certainly will, and we want to say a big congratulations on while it was brief in our competition, but just as a general from us, the great career of Scott Sherlock, the captain of Bacchus Marsh, played some great footy in the interleague program. A fantastic guy on and off the field. Unfortunately, he had to announce his retirement last Thursday night due to back injuries, where unfortunately that just meant his career is over. But sad news nonetheless, mate. But great to see a player of his quality join this competition.
Yeah, it was. And look, he certainly brought a lot to the competition. He had some great games and really some standout performances. I understand it was emotional last week, quite rightly so, because of the circumstances in which he's had to hang up the boots, so to speak. Look, he'll be a big hole for Bacchus Marsh, no doubt. But look, we just wish him all the best for the future, and a good recovery there as he tries to get that all fixed up. And I'm sure Bacchus Marsh will be looking to have some good games for him.
Absolutely, mate. Very, very well said. Before we wrap things up, make sure you head out to Macca's this week. You can go and pick up these nice footies. I think for about $4.95, $5.95.
Yep.
Go and check that out there. All proceeds go to the Ronald McDonald Charity House, which is absolutely fantastic. They do a magnificent job. We'll be touching on that a little bit later on in the week. Shane, thanks so much for joining us as we look back on round 13, and we look forward to catching up with you later on in the week.
Look forward to it as always.